A group of friends goes on a short holiday trip to celebrate together. One of the friends' sister also missing. The group begins searching for her, but that night, in the small cottage something strange happens. Each of them starts experiencing terrifying events, and one by one, they begin to die in different, horrifying ways. But the shocking part is, after some time, they come back to life, only to die again in new and disturbing ways. Now the question is, what is happening to them, and what does the missing girl have to do with it? Let's find out. At the beginning of the film, we see a girl named Melanie running away from the Wendigo monster through a basement. Then, she reached the forest through a secret passage from the basement. But just then, she was caught by a serial killer and he killed Melanie right there. With this shocking scene, the wonderful film began. The story then jumps ahead 1 year. We see Melanie's younger sister, Clover, her ex-boyfriend Max, her psychic friend Megan, her other friend Nina, and Nina's boyfriend Abe, all 5 of them traveling together in a car, searching for Melanie. It was a kind of mini road trip. Either they'd find out something about how Melanie disappeared, or at least enjoyed the journey. Then, they watched the last video Melanie had sent to Clover, in which she was seen standing in front of the Harley store. Because of this, Clover decided to start searching from that location. Megan suggested, "We should stay here first and try to feel Melanie's spirit, to find out if she disappeared from here." Everyone agreed. They tried to sense Melanie's presence along with Megan, but Megan couldn't feel anything there. Clover then walked to the shop and found the owner, a man named Hill. She started talking to him and asked about her sister, Melanie. Hill replied, "I don't know this girl. But when did she disappear?" Hill paused, then said, "People often disappear from here. There's a place called Glover Valley below. Strange things keep happening there, so don't go that way at all." Back outside, Clover's friends were discussing whether they should leave the area. Then, Clover returned and firmly said, "We should go to Glover Valley." Then all of them were moving ahead in heavy rain, barely able to see anything on the road. Nina said, "We should go back." And everyone agreed. But just then, they noticed something strange. It wasn't raining at all on the other side of the road. Confused, they stepped out of the vehicle. Clover observed that the weather on the other side was completely different from the forest. It was completely dry, no rain at all. Abe checked his phone and said, "There's no network here." So, he began recording everything around them. Soon, they spotted a house nearby, and the group decided to head toward it. As they approached, Max noticed Clover staring into the rain-filled forest, still thinking about going in. Meanwhile, the rest reached the house, but they soon realized it wasn't just a house, it was an old hotel. Inside, each of them explored different areas. Nina found a beautiful sand clock lying closed on a shelf. Outside, Clover saw her sister Melanie standing in the rain within the forest. Shocked, she stepped forward to pick her up, with Max following behind. Inside the hotel, Abe discovered several photographs on the wall, all of missing people. Meanwhile, Max caught up with Clover, who then realized she was still standing near the house. Nothing had changed. Back inside, Nina had written her name in the hotel register that others had signed before them, some names repeated multiple times. One of those names was Melanie's. Abe showed them the missing persons posters. When Clover saw her sister's name among them, she was shocked. It was the same place where her sister had disappeared. Confused and determined, Clover realized she had to find out what had happened to her sister, but she couldn't understand why some names were written again and again in the register. There, Nina noticed that a 1-hour timer had started on the sand clock, something that wasn't there before. She found it strange. Then, she saw their car parked in the forest, and strange noises were coming from it. Everyone rushed back into the house and hid, completely unsure of what to do next. While searching the house, they came across a closed room and found a radio inside. Since there was no network on their phones, they tried to use the radio to contact the outside world. Upstairs, Nina and Abe were exploring when a masked man suddenly appeared in front of Nina and killed Abe. And hearing their screams, the others rushed to the scene. They saw the masked man and immediately hid. The masked man entered their room. Max attacked him, but the masked man killed Max. Then he picked up Megan and smashed her head against the floor, killing her instantly. Clover tried to stab the masked man, but it had no effect. Clover ran out of the house into the forest. As she ran, she tripped and fell. There, she saw her sister and ran toward her, only to be stabbed from behind by the masked man. Clover died on the spot. 1 hour had passed on the sand clock, and it reset, taking everyone back in time to a specific moment. Nina wrote her name in the register again. Megan was in the washroom, Abe was looking at missing person posters, and Clover and Max were back in the forest, remembering how they had died. All 5 of them came back inside the house. Abe showed Clover that his name was now also among the missing posters, and none of them could understand how they were coming back to life after dying. Everyone decided they needed to leave, especially since Nina was clearly distressed. At that point, the lights in the house began to flicker, something that hadn't happened the last time. The group began planning to escape in the car. Suddenly, Megan began to change. Her behavior became strange, and she started screaming loudly. The lights went out, and when they turned back on, Megan had vanished. Everyone began searching for her and reached the room filled with missing person posters. There, they discovered Megan's terrifying truth. She would reveal the people in the posters and absorb their souls. All those souls begged for help, claiming they were trapped and had already died. Then Megan screamed again and suddenly slit her throat, taking her own life. Everyone understood that she would likely return to life again soon, like before. Just then, they heard a knock on the door, but when they looked through the window, no one was there. Choosing not to open it, they instead heard a scratching sound from outside. Curious, Clover stepped out of the house, but there was no one around. Suddenly, she saw a new house in front of her, one that hadn't been there before. Then Clover rose into the air and was pulled into the mysterious house. The rest of the group found themselves trapped again in the same building, unable to open the door. They considered escaping together, but the others hesitated and refused to leave. Max, determined to find Clover, left on his own to look for her. Belle, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like, comment, and help us reach our goal of 1,000 likes. Meanwhile, Abe and Nina were confused and unsure of what to do next. Abe told Nina, "Stay with me, we'll run away from here together." On the other hand, Clover woke up in a strange house filled with masks. An old woman appeared and approached her. Suddenly, Clover saw a news broadcast on a nearby TV reporting that the entire Glover Valley had been buried due to a natural mining accident. Clover tried to leave, but the door wouldn't open. The old woman came closer and said ominously, "Either you survive and leave, or become one of us forever." She then grabbed Clover and forced an oxygen mask over her face. Clover began to suffocate, and her soul was absorbed into the old woman's body, until the old woman turned to dust. Clover, now possessed, started laughing. Just then, Max looked through the window and entered the house. Elsewhere, App and Nina got into the car and drove away. But deep in the forest, they encountered a monstrous creature and quickly turned back toward the hotel. From the rearview mirror, Nina noticed Abe was now lifeless, killed Nina as well. Meanwhile, Max continued his search for Clover. Inside the house, he stepped on some of the old woman's ashes and heard a noise from above. He looked up to see a chair shaking and a bucket lying beside it. Then he noticed a doll nearby, kicked it aside, and suddenly, Clover appeared in front of him and killed him on the spot. After some time, Clover emerged from the house, now fully possessed. But as she stepped into the road, she was hit by a car, and the spirit was expelled from her body. Once again, the sand clock reset, and all 5 friends found themselves back at the hotel. This time, they remembered everything that had happened before. To prepare for what was to come, all 5 hid together in the washroom. Feeling thirsty, App drank water from the tap. Everyone else, including Nina, followed and drank as well. While resting, they talked about how Clover had seen a packet in the house across the road, something linked to a witch. Everyone sat in silence, disturbed by what was happening. Megan nervously said, "My hair is falling out, and every time we die, we come back a little more strange. I don't know when this will stop." Suddenly, Abe began coughing violently, then his body exploded on the spot. The group was horrified. Megan quickly stopped Nina and whispered, "It's the water." Nina's body also burst apart moments later. Panic set in as the remaining 3 realized that Megan began convulsing in pain. Her leg burst open as she screamed, and Clover stared at the sand clock. "There's not much time left," she said. "Maybe he was right. Play the game, or become part of it." Desperate and afraid, Clover turned to Max. "Kill me." Max hesitated, unable to do it. His body exploded too. Clover, now the last one left, collapsed onto the floor in sorrow, and then Hill entered the room. Clover recognized him immediately. Hill calmly replied, "You never understood the game. That's why you'll never escape it, just like the others." Clover's body erupted too. The sand clock reset once again. Time turned back. The group reappeared in the office, trying to understand the mysterious location they were trapped in. While searching, Clover found an ID card belonging to Hill. It revealed that he was a doctor who used to conduct experiments in that very location. Then Abe read from a paper that 23 years ago, a natural disaster had occurred there due to mining, causing the entire place to go underground. Since then, strange events had continued happening in that area. It was revealed that Hill managed everything there. While exploring, they found a door. Upon opening it, they heard the growls of a monster, one of Hill's experimental creatures. Inside, they discovered more horrifying things. Max found 2 VHS cassettes. He inserted the first one, but to everyone's surprise it turned out to be making them all laugh, the second tape, which showed Hill's horrific experiments. The footage revealed that Hill had kept 2 people captive in 2 inner rooms. In the video, Hill explained that after staying there for 13 days, people began to transform slowly into monsters. These monsters, resembling Wendigos, developed a hunger for transformed humans. By consuming them, the human monsters would fully evolve into Wendigos. Realizing the truth, Megan said, "This night is changing us too." Just then, Hill's voice came through the radio. "You're right," he said. Clover pleaded. "Get us out of here," Hill replied coldly. "There's no way out. But someone always dies, so I want one of the 5 of you to sacrifice yourself. If that happens, I'll let the rest go." This sparked an argument among them. Max insisted. "We can't trust him. Even if someone dies, he won't let the rest go." At that moment, Megan used her psychic abilities and said, "There's something inside the table." They found a hidden map showing the layout of the entire area. But Nina responded, "This map won't help us." Meanwhile, Clover discovered from Hill's ID that he might be hiding somewhere in the nearby woods. She declared, "I'll go look for him there." Then Hill's voice came again. "Yes, Clover, I'm here. Come." Her friends tried to stop her, saying, "He's provoking you." But Hill added, "Clover, your sister is also with me in the forest. So come." Enraged, Clover stormed out of the building, while the others stood still, uncertain of what to do next. Abe then says that we should sacrifice Clover because she ran into danger to die anyway upon hearing her sister's name, and she is the one who has to die. Hearing this, Nina kills Abe from behind and says, "He will come alive again anyway. So you go and kill Clover." Then Megan and Max went out there. That is until Clover gets her foot caught in a leg trap when she goes into the forest. On the other hand, Megan and Max were going into the forest searching for her. Then they heard the Wendigo's voice. Then a Wendigo attacks them from above. Both of them ran away from there and Megan fell at one place. There was glass which was about to break. Max went to rescue her by pulling her, but the Wendigo pulls him from behind and not killing him on the spot. He wasn't getting free. Then Melanie appeared before them in the form of a Wendigo. Both of them got scared after seeing her, and Max took out the trap from Clover's leg and put it on Melanie's mouth. Then both of them ran away and hid at a place. Clover was very sad about her sister's transformation into Wendigo. Then Max took care of her. Then Clover says, "This happened because of me, and now we have to stop her. That's why you should kill me." Then Max kills Clover right there by slitting her throat. He then proceeds to fight Melanie. But Masked Man kills him from behind, right there. Then the story flashes back to a time a year ago, where Clover came and took her mom's necklace. Then she gives it to her sister Melanie and says, "Sister, please don't forget me." Melanie replies, "Never. I will create a new and better life very quickly." Then she left from there. Then Clover went after her. But this time, Melanie goes to attack Clover in the form of a Vertigo. Then Clover woke up. It was a dream. Everyone there was taking care of her, and Abe asked, "Is there something on my back?" Then everyone saw that there were wounds, but Nina denied it and said, "Nothing has happened to you." Then Clover asked, "How long have we all been here?" No one remembered. Nina then said, "It has been 13 nights since we are here," in which no one had survived more than 13 nights. That meant this night was their last chance. Clover looked outside, and saw many houses that were not there earlier. Clover came back and started looking at everyone. Then she remembered that Megan was not there, and she had not come back to life. That's when they realized Megan probably didn't die in between, and that's why she didn't return. Then everyone started trying to remember the last time Megan was with them, but they couldn't. They were forgetting what had happened during those 13 nights. Then Abe took out his phone, because he used to record a lot of things. Then they found videos recorded from the previous nights. One night, a worm entered Clover's mouth, and everybody got very scared. But then Clover's entire face started changing. Then they saw another video, in which the masked man was coming from behind and killing them. And in the video after that, everyone was entering Hill's cave. He was then attacked and killed by the Wendigo. At that time, Nina's condition was terrible. Then, in one of the videos, after his death, Hill was seen going to his office, and Megan saw this. She said, "I'll go to Hill's office to kill him," and proceeded through the same door. In the present, all 4 heard a noise from outside. Wendigos were coming. They quickly decided to fight them this time. Clover apologized to everyone, saying, "It's my fault. I was the one who brought us here." Then they got trapped. The 4 of them, including Clover, entered Hill's cave. Inside, they saw rotting rooms. As they moved forward, they saw Melanie in her Wendigo form coming toward them. All four attacked her together and managed to injure her, and then ran away, reaching a room for shelter. Suddenly, the masked man broke the glass from above and dropped down. Everyone there told Clover, "Go to Megan!" So, Clover came out of the room. The rest attacked the masked man and killed him on the spot, smashing his face with a hammer. Then they heard the sound of another Wendigo. Meanwhile, Clover was trying to escape the Wendigos too. While moving, she confronted Malini again, but somehow she manages to kill her as sharp object and walk away. She finally found Megan imprisoned in the experiment lab, with another Wendigo tied up beside her, unable to eat Megan due to the restraints. But the door was locked. Clover went to a nearby room looking for the key, and discovered it was Hill's office. There, she saw Hill watching them through surveillance cameras, calmly sipping tea. Hill began praising Clover, saying, "Most people die here within 3 to 5 days, or are transformed into Wendigos. But you're still alive after 13 nights." Clover responded firmly, "I want to save Megan." Hill just smiled and said, "You're all trying to run away." Just then, Clover noticed water was dripping from above. Then, while Hill was distracted, Clover spilled water into his tea. Hill started mocking them all, calling them weak and saying they would always be part of his experiment, and that he would always be successful. He took a sip of the tea, but suddenly felt a strange sensation in his stomach. Clover said, "This time, you have become the experiment." And Hill exploded right there. Clover then found a key in the office. Using it, she freed Megan, and together they imprisoned the Wendigo in the same lab, just as the sand clock's time was running out. Clover and Megan then left for the house, where several Wendigos had entered. They tried to escape the basement through a secret path into the forest, but Wendigos grabbed their legs and pulled them back. At that moment, their 3 remaining friends came from upstairs and rescued them, pulling them out of the house into the forest. Meanwhile, the time in the sand clock ended, and for the first time, all 5 of them were alive together. Because of this, the time loop finally ended. Morning broke, the rain stopped, and all 5 calmed down. Then, they left the place in their car. With this, the film ended. In the pre-credits scene, we see Hill's cameras transforming the main house into a snowy place. Then, some people arrive in a car, hinting at the next chapter. The illogical film ends here, but the story continues. If you want more recaps like this, then please subscribe.